All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. So a little impromptu update for everybody. Kind of what I'm looking at, what I expect for the rest of the day, what's happened so far, and what can we see. So most importantly today, we noticed that on the ETFs that we're watching here, the SPY, the QQQ, DIA, and IWM, probably the four most important things that I look at outside of the skew, TLT, P-call ratios, gold, um, overall sentiment, and so forth, and kind of put all those together. We'll look at volatility index as well and just try to get an idea of what we can expect. So we did buy the dip yesterday on SPY down at the trendy edge. So if you recall, we talked about the trendy edges, and really, if you're not familiar with those, they're just basically the yellow lines that you see on my chart. We want to be going long on the reclaims of these guys, which are down to the downside, so low on the curve, and then we want to be looking at the EMAs now. So notice on the SPY from the left, we are moving and making higher lows from that 411 level, and we are stopping right towards the top of that cloud. Let me go ahead and draw that out for you. So I'm going to zoom in here and notice that the cloud is coming in about 413.60. So this is resistance until it's not. This is a nice move from 411 to 413. We did go ahead and trim already, and now we need to see if the market can break those levels. So let's go over to the Q. What are they doing? Well, they reclaimed the trendy edge, came into our second set of EMAs, and we see resistance. What you're going to need here for the market to continue to move up, we're going to need to see the SPY hold above and break this 414. I bought the 416s that expire on Friday, yesterday on the dip, as I said, and I would like to see another attempt towards 416 on SPY. On Qs, this is a big level. You know, a lot of inside candles. Is trying to find some balance down here towards the 335 and a quarter level. And if it can do that, then perhaps it can move up just like the SPY towards the upper EMA cloud around 337 and a half. Now the leader today is the DIA and IWM. What I like about this is we did go inside and up. We are now above the cloud on the DIA or the Dow. Okay, and then on IWM, we've now reclaimed the lower edge. So, in order, edge, reclaim of edge, edge, reclaim of edge. All of these are now in sync, and the question is, can they break over the cloud? Right now, it's a neutral, right? You're trimming into strength, and now we wait to see if prices can hold or break above those clouds. Very straightforward. All right? So, going back, let's talk about what's happened so far this week. Well, we went ahead and forecasted inside weeks across the board for the SPY, the Qs, DIA, and so forth. So far, that is true. Now, we teach what inside means. Everybody has a different definition of that. Here at Trendy, we trade it just a little bit differently. And so as long as I'm forecasting inside, then there are two levels that we don't want to see break in order for it to stay inside. And again, we go further into detail in the room on that. And so far that is working very well. Some other trades that I'm looking at here is I went ahead and took Microsoft. I took UNH this morning. It's down a little bit, but I bought out of the money. I'm doing smaller allocation, so it's not typical for me to buy too much out of the money unless we come into a chop cycle. And then I'll just give it a little bit of room. I don't put a lot of emphasis on it. My higher convicted trade right now, where I have the most money probably in, is my Etsy trade, and I'll be looking to add to that a little bit later as well. So let's go ahead and pull a chart and look at these really quick. Okay, just give me 1 second here. I'm going to detach a screen, and let's bring this over. And let's go ahead and take a look at Etsy and just kind of take and see what's going on with it. All right. And we also have some Lulu, so I might be adding into my Lulu as well. And we'll take a look at that here in a second. And these are longer term trades. The Etsy I started yesterday live. And then so I'll go over it. So we did come down into the box. If you notice, we bounced off that lower level of 201.75. In order for me to really start getting convicted on this trade, if Etsy by Friday can close inside of this base here, so we need it to get above, all right? So it's going to look something like this when it's finished. It would need to get above the level of about 206.88, but let's call it 207. All right, so again, if I can get above 207, I'll be looking to add in there. Now the question is, well, like right when it touches 207, is that what I'm looking for? No. I want to come back to it towards the end of the day. So about 5 minutes before close and check the daily candle. All right, because it's really easy for a candle to move, folks, and it's early in the morning. A candle could push into 207, I add, and by the end of the day, it's down here. We don't want that to happen, so I'm going to wait and stay patient while the market does what it needs to do. Now, if we go back and study and just look at some pattern recognition on Etsy, you can see that it's been down quite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days or so. You can look really quickly and just kind of scan and notice that Etsy, that's kind of out of character. All right, it's out of character for it to continue down this long. So we should be looking for a substantial bounce pretty soon. But again, I need that 207, and I'll come back and check it before the end of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lulu really quick. All right, so our Lulu position's looking pretty good this morning. So again, these are longer term positions. I added to it when it pulled back a couple days ago. I think that was last week. It might have been Monday. But it is holding, notice this is our trade plan, right? So it's holding the risk level, which is 314.82. So this was a predetermined risk. It came down into that area. It bounced. Underneath that risk level is actually a trendy edge, and 2 trendy edges to be exact. So members, you can see that here. We have a nice double stack on the weekly and the monthly, and now we're getting that nice bounce, right? So if we can continue to move up here, we'll be looking for 326.81. The bigger trade happens over 328.49. Now, again, we did add to this. I need to take a quick look at it and see where we are. Oh, very nice day. We had 30 days. I'm in the 350 calls. We were looking for that possible run up towards ER and off of the trendy level there. All right, so that's Lulu. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Is that, hopefully that helps you there. Right? All right, so I'm going to set an alert here on Lulu and see if we can get edge to edge. I love these, right? When we get a nice move from edge to edge. That'll probably pay us nicely there. And remember what we said about Lulu. Let's see if we can get that. What is that? Like the downward dog, upward dog? We need that nice move to the upside. All right. So the SPYs, again, I'm going to talk between here as we're moving along. The SPY is still underneath that EMA cloud. The Qs just basically at the first part of the cloud and resisting. The Dow looking very nice and strong. It is at a resistance point. But for the Dow, or the DIA as they say, the diamonds, 339.81, we could see a nice breakout. If the Dow starts leading towards 341, I think this market's already finished with its quick pullback and getting ready for the bigger names coming up for earnings. Netflix, Netflix is not a big deal when it comes to the market. I'm definitely not looking at Netflix and going, oh, the market has to break down. I don't think anybody would ever put that much emphasis on Netflix. And while we're over here, let's look at UNH really quick and see what's going on with that. It started at like 260. This one flops around a little bit, but let's talk it through really quick looking at a daily. All right, so here's the daily. We did push up very quickly into the 401 level. Looking for 402.98, and then above that 406 and 410. We could get a really nice move if we can hold right in here around 396. Now the risk is at 394 and a half, but if it ends up holding this 396.79, 396.50, then we should see our way right back up here into 402, 406. All right. So that's UNH. And let's see, Omer. Let's go ahead and take a look at PayPal. All right, here we go. So PayPal, first things first, on a daily, we are making lower highs and lower lows. And the question is it coming back into a support area? On the daily, it's simply come back into this wick over here. So if I were to draw a line, you could see it came right into there. Found a little bit of support. The trade itself for PayPal, I like better above 271.35. All right, 271.35. So if we can get above 271.35, it can really move. Short term, if it can break over 266 and a half, I think you get a quick move into 271. All right. Also had some questions about Roku earlier, so we're going to take a look at Roku. If this thing keeps today's low, I would not be surprised to see it go green. It is in this neutral area. It could easily move into 356 by end of day if we see the ETFs do what I told you. They need to get above the cloud. The SPY needs to get above the cloud. The Qs need to hold that trendy edge, and then things will be fine. All right. All right, over here on Microsoft, I think this was at 30%. It's only up 12% right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. SMH sector seeing a little bit of buying, but again, depending on the market, it needs to move where we said. If it doesn't, it's just going to kind of flop around sideways. The easier trade when it really starts to move is over the upper trendy edge, and that's going to be 260 and a quarter. 260 and a quarter, and then we can see it break out. We do need some targets to the upside. It's a consolidation after a big run up, so let me go ahead and show you that as well. Nice move up. Consolidation is happening here. It is hanging out in a bullish channel. All right, so it's holding at least 25% of that move. And if it can break above here, we're looking for extension targets to the upside. I'm just going to use my Fibonacci extension tool really quick, and I'm going to come down here towards the rally. I'm going to pick the high, and I'm going to double click, and that's going to give me some swing targets if SMH wants to run. We're looking for 268 towards 272. All right, and the reason why I'm using these is because we don't have candle structure to the left. And so I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of this as well. And I'm going to pull this blue dotted line up to the highs, roughly. So about right there. And then right around here. This is going to be risk as far as this week is concerned. All right. Let's get this out of the way. And we're going to put this right here at the lower trendy edge. So about right here at 255. All right, so this is a trade plan. 255 holds, looking for 261 and a half. A breakout could put us into the 268 level, and that's Microsoft. Before I jump out of here, is there any questions that you guys might have? And I'll be happy to answer those for you. Yeah, sure. Let's go over Walmart really quick. All right, so WMT, Walmart. Let this load really quick. All right, there we go. This chart I absolutely love. I need to show you the weekly. I'm a little more, well, actually, we could stay here on the daily if you want. All right, so nice move. I could tell you the weekly looks great. Nice push up here. Consolidation. I am in this. I just started it actually. And I'm looking for a breakout into a gap fill or close to the gap fill. I always like to come down just a little bit before that gap. Ultimately, I'm looking for a move into 147 on that next leg up. The risk on this is, let's see here. I'm going to pull this risk up. And same thing, I'm going to use the lower half around 138.61. All right, so just like that. And I believe this is in your trade plans as well. All right, so SPY at about 30%, Microsoft 10%, UNH on the week down 50%, and that is again a smaller allocation trade. And then our Lulu, holy smokes, this one's kicking butt, guys. Let's go back and look at that really quick. I might want to add into this. All right, I think we could see, like I said, the upper WE here is at 326. The question is, let me pull up my options really quick. All right, I got 30 days out, 21 May. I'm in Delta 20s, you know, very inexpensive, 278 by 299. And what are we looking for? Give me 1 second here. Definitely like to see this 346 by 350. We got two gaps to fill. You know, this 331 gap. Just want to make sure my risk to reward makes sense here. The weekly ATR is 24. That's, I mean, that would already put us at our at the money. So I think we're good. I like this strike. I don't usually go this far out of the money, but the market was not cooperating, so I didn't want to go with a higher delta. We are definitely moving though. SPY almost 50%, guys. Let's bring that back up just really quick so we can look. There we go. Here we go. SPY is starting to break above the cloud here. We might go in the money, folks. Look at the Dow over here, back above 339. Things are looking great. IWM, again, trying. So, you know, we have some laggers, but man, we're showing some strength here. And I absolutely love that we talked about a possible buy the dip scenario here. And it is working out. And we especially focused on being in that moment and not being scared to buy a dip. Very important, right? A lot of people, after a big pullback, they get that deer in the headlight look. But a lot of times, what I find out is that people have a deer in the headlight because they don't have a plan, they don't have a process, they don't have levels, right? And when you don't have any of that, you have no idea where price is going to move off of. You have no idea where price can go. And so, you know, how do you trade like that? If you are a trader who's finding themselves in that position, please come check us out. I mean, we use levels. It's not too distorted. There's not a bunch of crazy going on. So, you know, things look great. Anyways, check us out, TrendyTrading.co. And if you have time, give us a like or a retweet. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a good day.